and welcome to the Beauty Biz Show. I'm your host, Lori Crete. I'm a licensed esthetician, spa owner, industry consultant, speaker, and journalist, and the founder of the Beauty Biz Club, which is the only professional, success-based society designed to dramatically up your bookings, increase your profits, and provide you with industry-specific resources that are needed to succeed. If you'd like to know more about how you can become a member of the Beauty Biz Club, please visit beautybizclub.com. Now I invite you to join me as I feature inspirational messages from industry gurus and practical tips to tap into your best success. Stay tuned for some serious beauty biz entertainment. Hello and welcome back to the Beauty Biz Show. I have missed you guys. It is actually a Sunday morning as I record this. I'm sitting here with my coffee and I was writing out an outline. See, every Monday morning I check in with the expansion group in the Beauty Biz Club and I'll share something that's going on, maybe my to-do list, maybe a timeline, maybe thoughts, and I ask them to interact with me. It's part of our mastermind platform. And this week's check-in is going to be surrounding getting over scared. And as I typed this out, I thought, oh my goodness, I feel like this would be a good way to get the show on the road again, because I know there's so many of you out there that are feeling fear. Maybe your confidence is being, challenged right now. And I am a big believer that creating good fear, all depends on how you view something, but creating good fear is a good thing if you are in a place where you're longing for change, if you feel unsettled, or maybe even if you're just simply desiring growth. And really, for the year 2018, I was in a place of fear. You may not have known that, but I really was. And I'm going to share with you today just a timeline of what my life was like last year and how I stepped into creating the changes that I wanted to see in my life, feeling really scared, but I did it in a way where I can tell you today, the beginning of 2019, life is good. I have to keep pinching myself going, did I really make this happen? So I'm excited, hopefully, to motivate you and inspire you to design a beauty biz practice or a life that makes you feel good, makes you feel proud, and makes your confidence levels soar. But before we get started, I'm just going to share with you what I have going on this year. Again, we are going to be rolling out the show, hopefully bi-monthly. But for those of you who are in the Beauty Biz Club, which is my online success platform for entrepreneurial type beauty practitioners who have a career and not a hobby, this is where you want to be to learn how to design an amazing practice and to engage with other people that are doing the same. It's all who you surround yourself with, right? So what's going on in the Beauty Biz Club? Let me just tell you, I get asked this question all the time. So I want to tell you how I do things. First of all, in January, we did something called the Growth Bank. This is my 5-step proprietary mapping out my year of success system. I share it with you. It is a recording now in the club and it will be available for the next few months. So you gain immediate access to that. And I show you step by step how to set realistic goals and even wild and crazy goals and how to accomplish them. Coming up in February, I've been getting so many questions about microcurrent that I'm bringing a microcurrent guru in the club. So just for the membership fee of $79 a month, you can gain access to a training. What is it? How does it work? And how to use it in your practice by a microcurrent guru, Jane Mann. She normally charges anywhere from $300 to $1,000 for these types of trainings. She is my microcurrent mentor, and I'm excited that training is popping up in the club in February. Also, then again, in March, I've been getting a lot of questions. People are fed up with social media, and oh my God, so am I. There's a difference, you guys. There's a difference between marketing your business on social media and being a positioner where you position yourself as a professional or just posturing. I can't take another posturing photo of people like trying to look like they're doing something maybe when they're really not. It's driving me crazy. So I know a lot of you are feeling the same and you want to know, how can I effectively market my beauty practice on my social media channel? So I have borrowed, Sorella Apothecary has generously given me their social media expert, and they have a great social media page, but she's coming in the club to teach us how to create a brand message that is a client attracting and a business building message on your social media platforms. And I'm really excited about that. I also, this week, I have been doing volunteer work and charity events, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Many of you know I've started over. I gave up this incredible beauty practice, which I'll talk about a minute here today. And I've started over. And one of the things that I tell you guys to do if you want to grow a beauty practice is to get out there and volunteer. So I've been doing a lot of that myself. And this week I brought along a young entrepreneur. She is a millennial. And we went to a charity event and I taught her how to network. And it's funny because she kept saying, wait, how did you do that? Wait, how did you talk to that woman? Wait, why did you follow that particular woman around and give her your business card? And it came to my awareness. Many people are dying for these tools. They want to get out there and they want to network because it really, truly is. No matter how much social media you do, there's nothing more powerful in the client attraction department than networking and meeting people and having a real connection with them and truly telling them that you would love the opportunity to earn their business and inviting them into your practice. And when I brought this young gal out and I watched how excited she was to learn these tips, I thought, well, I got to teach that. So I'm thinking that may be our March training in the Beauty Biz Club is surrounding networking. But after 3 months, I do these 3 months at a time because I don't want my training platform to be, you will learn this today. You will learn this tomorrow. I want to see what's happening. I want to see what you're asking for. I want to see where your challenges are and create training surrounding that. So we segment them out about 3 months in advance. If you're in the club, go to the events tab, and that's where you can see what's going on and keep yourself in the know. This is a club where you have to interact, and it's just like your business. You have to interact to make it be successful. The club is no different, but it's designed for your success. So that's what's happening in the club the next few months. Also, I will be speaking this year at ICES and doing a facial demo there. Stay tuned for details on that, but that's in Dallas at the end of April. Then I am flying right from there to Phoenix, Arizona, where SkinScripts has asked me to speak at their yearly, it's almost like a client appreciation event. It's pretty cool. And I've heard from past attendees that they go all out to make this an incredible event for you. So I will be speaking there in May in Phoenix. And then the next speaking engagement that I have is actually in Las Vegas at the big show in Vegas, which is June, I think 15th through 17th. So that's what I have on the docket for the next few months. I would love to see you in one of these cities. And before I start today's podcast, I'm just going to tell you who I have in the queue for upcoming guests because this is going to be a great year on the show. So I've already completed, and it's in the queue, a fun conversation I had with Shelly Hancock, who is a 33-year licensed esthetician, and she's a friend of mine. We always get on the phone and talk all things beauty biz success. So you're just going to hear one of our conversations. Normally it's just the two of us chatting about these things on the phone, but I'm going to share it with you. That's going to be rolling out soon. I'm super excited about I have in the queue scheduled Dr. Sonia Bactra, and she is the dermatologist who is on the show, The Doctors. We actually filmed an infomercial together this summer, and have to say, little nervous hanging out with somebody who is so highly educated and so well known and well respected in her profession. And what I took away from that day was, oh my gosh, she's a gal's kind of gal just like us. And she mentioned that she has gotten amazing referrals from estheticians. She really respects us as professionals. So we're going to talk a little bit about how she does it all. She's on TV. She has a really successful practice in Southern California. She's a mom of 2 young boys and a wife. Her husband is a doctor as well. So she's going to talk about how she gets it all done and still shows up smiling every single day. And we also are going to talk about skin cancer and some of the things we should look for as practitioners so we can refer out to dermatologists and how to build that relationship with a derm. So excited that she's taking the time to join us. And then I have a special guest, Sarah Edinburgh. She actually is Edinburgher, a licensed esthetician. She's dipped her toe in a lot of beauty industry related jobs, you would call them. She's a licensed esthetician, like I mentioned, but now you'll see her on the Today Show a lot, and she's actually the editor at large at New Beauty Magazine. So Sarah and I are going to talk about trends in the beauty industry. We're going to talk about what it's like to get a gig going on the Today Show and be able to talk about things that help other women look and feel confident and beautiful. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that show. And then I have an email out corresponding with Dr. Lance Setterfield, and we're going to have him on the show very soon to talk about his genius work that he does in the industry. I've heard he is like the godfather of microneedling. People who have taken his classes leave in awe. So just a few up and coming Beauty Biz show episodes to look forward to. But today, let's dive into the reason I'm here. And that is I want to talk to you about getting over scared. And this is honestly how I feel right now. I feel over the scared. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a timeline of how I went from feeling scared to settled, with the hopes that it inspires you to make the changes that you need in your life to get to where you want to be, and to help you do it. Maybe put on your business bravery hat and step forward into this, and to give you some vision into what the process looks like when you're willing to make a change. You usually will go from feeling scared silly to feeling calmly settled and brave and more confident in what you're doing. So back in July of 2017, I decided to sell my Los Angeles spa. So the first thing I did is I called a client who I knew was in the real estate world, and I said, do you have a commercial broker that you could refer to me? So I searched for a referral and I listed my business. Now, I don't know if any of you have sold a business before, but it's almost like doing taxes. You have to come up with a lot of information. You have to come up with photographs, videos, financial paperwork, listing all your equipment. It was crazy. It took me like a week to gather. A week as a really organized, systematic person, it took me to get the information needed just to simply list my biz. And then we decided to do it in a way where it kept my credentials and my financial stuff private, just because I didn't want looky-loos calling to see what I made every year and what my spa generated and what I had for sale. Like, you had to be a serious business seeking owner and want to seriously invest and show your credentials to even view my business. So I decided to do this in July, and I decided to rebuild at 49 years old. And I'm going to tell you, I freaked the F out over giving up a business that worked and worked really, really well. I was making over 6 figures working 2 days a week. And who gets to do this, right? And who's crazy enough to give something like this up? But I decided it was just time. I needed to make this change in my life. And making the change was more important than, or felt more exciting to me than just staying where I was. Because my life was crazy busy. I was driving, like 8 hours a week, twice a week, back and forth to work, and exhausted. And my life was expensive, keeping my home in desert and my apartment, which really my 1-bedroom apartment was more expensive than the mortgage on my 4-bedroom home. So life was expensive, life was busy, life was crazy. And I just wanted to calm down. And I'll be honest with you, I hustled, and I actually found a buyer on February 10th in 2018. The broker, I don't know if it's because my business wasn't like listed for multiple 7 figures or what, but he turned out to be not so much of a hustler. But I have to say the bright side, and there's always a bright side, he taught me a lot about selling a business, and I've been able to help other practitioners get their business listed and find brokers. In a way, from that experience, it's helped me help you guys a lot. And just made me, again, a smarter business owner when you know like what you need to do to ever sell a business and how to prep to sell your business and what's involved in the process and the different ways you can list your business. It was a good experience overall. So I finalized the sale of my spa, and I announced to my employees, my renters, and my clients March 19th of 2018 that I would be leaving on June 1st. And I have to tell you, this was so hard. And again, another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful awakening came out of doing this. I had no idea how well respected I was in my community. I was getting letters from clients telling me how deeply I had impacted their lives in ways that I never imagined possible as a beauty practitioner. My employees were crying. My renters were very sad that I was leaving. They had told me they felt secure with me at the helm as their leader in business. So it was really, really emotional and hard for me to make this announcement. And I'm not going to lie to you, from March to June, my life was literally a blur. Recollections are still coming back to me now in January of what I did to make this all possible. So you have to remember, I was still working in my treatment room. Those 2 days a week were always very, very, very busy. I was seeing up to 15 clients a day. I was speaking. I traveled a lot to speak during this time. And speaking is not where you just show up and stand on stage. Unfortunately, there's a lot that goes into making a really good speech that's going to help your audience excel in life. I filmed an infomercial and prepped for that and went through, I think it was 4 or 5 auditions. And those auditions were crazy because it was really important to me. I really wanted to do this infomercial. And I remember I would hang up the phone after my audition and be covered in sweat because, like I said, it was important to me. And they were asking tough questions that I didn't really expect. The producer and the owner of the company, they were all amazing people, but pushing me out of my comfort zone. I was also at this time prepping, getting everything ready and all the content created for the 60-day challenge that I launch every July. I was doing my bi-monthly podcasting, and I was still running the Beauty Biz Club. So life was insane, and selling my business and packing up my apartment and just mapping everything out in my brain like, oh my goodness, what is my life gonna look like in a few months? So my last day of work at my spa in LA, my business baby that I had built from zero to a very, very successful practice was May 31st. And I'll never forget, the hour before I saw my last client there, I started feeling sick, like nauseous. And I got through the appointment, and I get a little bit even emotional talking about it right now. But I got through the appointment and I walked out of my treatment room. I checked my client out, and then I sat in this chair that was outside of the treatment room. I just sat there and it felt a little bit stunned, like that was my last client I was going to see in a place that had brought me so many blessings into my life. And I looked up and all of my renters were staring at me. And I just started crying and I couldn't stop. Actually, I'll post a photo of this on my Instagram as I was like Elvis leaving the building for the very last time. Sharon, who was a renter for several years, she also is a mentor of mine. She took a photo of me leaving. And even though in the photo you can't really see my face, it was dark and shadowy. When I look at this picture, I can see and feel how exhausted I was at this moment. So when you want to create change, lesson number 1, when you want to create change, you're going to have to step into a space of sacrificing a few things. And sacrificing doesn't always have to be a bad word. For me, it's just a temporary place where you need to be to create something beautiful in your life. So when I left LA on June 1st, after 22 years, I really had in my mind that I would start over right away. And part of what got me to sell my business, just, to give you a deeper insight into what took place, I started looking for signs in my life, like signs that it was time to go. And I had said to this doctor who I'd been going to for my Botox for several years, the second you have a room come available, you let me know and I'm selling my LA business. And at that time in July, that room became available. And he said, it's there if you want to come, just let me know when you're ready. So I really thought that I would start over right away when I moved out to the desert full time. But I gotta be honest with you, I turned into a zombie from June until probably mid-August. I felt like I didn't know who I was. It was funny because I remember being out in public and I would meet people and they'd go, what do you do, Lori? And I would automatically say, oh, I own a spa in Los Angeles. And then I'd think to myself, you don't. But now if you tell them you don't, you sound like a crazy person or a liar. Seriously, I did not know who I was. So I want to know, I'm curious, have you ever had an identity crisis? It is a weird, weird feeling. It was like I didn't know who I was and my life was calm and I didn't even know if I liked that or what it was going to look like. And I like having a plan A, B, and C. This was a very weird time for me, June through August. I have a hard time not being on the go, but there were honestly days that I did not leave my house except for to go to Jay's gym for 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the morning for a workout. I walked around trying to decide what I wanted to do, what I should be doing. And I'll tell you one thing I did that looking back now, at the time I didn't realize how genius it was, but I would just sit. And when I got ideas, I would write those ideas down. I didn't even know why, but I would. And they came into play and really started helping me. as I roll on, I'll share with you just how they helped me. But August 1st, I gave the doctor at the med spa my first rent check, but I didn't do much for 2 weeks, honestly. A big part of me didn't feel like doing anything. I kept questioning, do I even want to go back into the treatment room? Heck, I didn't know. But I forced myself to create forward movement in my life. So on August 15th, I called my painter, and the first thing I did is I had the room painted. My favorite spa paint color, Sherwin-Williams, and oh my goodness, it's called something, I think like Midnight Gray. I don't remember. I'll put that in the post under Instagram when the podcast rolls out live. But I had it painted. I ordered all of the little things that I needed, right? I sold everything in LA or threw it away because honestly, at the time, now looking back, I should have saved a few more things that the new owner didn't want, like my osmosis makeup. I thought, well, I probably won't be doing makeup in the desert, and I'm doing a ton of it. So that was something that I realized. But I had the room painted, and I ordered all the stuff that I needed. I started slowly working on my website, my new menu, my new intake form, my business cards. It's no joke. For any of you guys starting a business, I want you to know that I completely can relate to what you're going through, because there is a lot to do when you start over or you start anything new, a lot to do. But here's the thing. I knew I had the tools. So it was just creating the motivation that I needed. And I got a lot of that motivation and inspiration just from being in the general chat forums and the Beauty Biz Club, watching other gals that were starting from scratch. And they shared with me the shelves that they were using, or maybe where they had gotten certain supplies or their beds. And it was kind of cool to have that support. So I just knew I had to implement my own success systems that I preach to practitioners and other estheticians who are building their biz. I had to really practice what I had been preaching for the last 10 years. So when I finally got moving, and this is something I teach on all the time, I finally tapped into creating inspired action. It's a motivation tool that you'll often hear me talk about from stage or in some of my trainings. I started to get re-excited about touching faces again. Re-excited, I don't know if that's a word, but I started getting really excited about touching faces again. So I was set up and I was ready to go on September 1st, 2018. And this is a very, very slow time in my new seasonal area. Our population here in the desert actually doubles from November to June. And September is a really quiet month for many businesses here in the desert. So there I was, all dressed up, ready to go with no clients. So it was time to really take action. I reached out to 2 influencers in this area, and I gave them actually like a scripted out special to share with their followings on their Facebook page or social media. Simply asked them, would you support my new biz? And boom, those went out. And no joke, I booked like 20 facials in 48 hours. And I did this, they were trickling in, the bookings. They happened within 48 hours, but they booked I gave my specials always have a time limit. So it was for 30 days. So I booked about 20 facials for the next 30 days in 48 hours. And did it feel weird to have 2 to 3 facials a week on my book when I was used to having 15 clients a day? Heck yes, it did. I felt like I had a split personality. Part of me would be so excited, and then part of me would feel bummed that it was an ego challenge for sure, that I was showing up for 1 facial a day, getting all dressed up in my uniform and driving to work. It really was a new feeling. It felt weird to only have, like I said, 2 to 3 facials a week when I was used to having 15 clients a day. It was a weird feeling to get extremely excited each time my Schedulicity, my online scheduling app, sent me a text that a facial booked. Oh my God, these were things that I just had overlooked and taken for granted for some time. I went from all these weird emotions of feeling super scared, super excited, questioning what I was doing, but I just kept reminding myself. One of the things I taught in the last 60-day challenge is have a success mantra to tap into when you feel off. And I just kept reminding myself of this one success mantra, and that is, Lori, you have everything it takes to be successful. Keep moving forward. And I would say that over and over and over again. And I really tapped into feeling gratitude for each moment that I felt like my new life was falling into place. So I tapped into the gratitude of what good was happening instead of feeling freaked out and scared that I only had one facial a week on the book. So over the next few months, I seriously would go from freaking out to feeling thrilled. And I used this time of growth to take moments to really assess what I wanted my new business to look like and who my new BCE, if you've heard my teaching, BCE is one of the first things you should recognize about your business. Like, who do you want your clients to be, your best clients ever? Who are they going to be? And find out where they are. So I did a lot of this. I did some market research, and I made, after seeing, I did get busy. September rolled out. It wasn't super busy. October, I started seeing a lot of people. November, I started seeing a lot of people. December started feeling like myself, like my book was filling up. So I started doing market research, really listening to my new clients, the ones that lit my soul on fire and that I was excited to work on. And I also had designed my new menu and my new intake form to support my market research. Because I sold most of my equipment. I was making my money right now with basically my hands and my, of course, faithful NeuroTris microcurrent that I've had forever. But I did research and I made the decision to invest in a new, and it was not cheap, a very expensive piece of equipment on 12/20/19. I met with my CPA. This was very strategic. And I said, can I afford this piece of equipment? Let's do my numbers. And he was so funny. He said, Lori, you can buy anything you want because when you talk, sugar comes out of your mouth. I thought, what a nice compliment. So I bought the equipment, and it was really based on what my new clients were asking for here in the desert. Totally different types of skin situations showing up on my bed than I was used to in Los Angeles. And I'm excited to share with you that this was a good decision. My clients are investing in this higher priced facial, and I am getting so many reviews on my platforms, the one that I'm sending them to. I have all these systems in place, and this is really what I teach in the Beauty Biz Club. But I am thrilled to tell you that I'm finally over the fear, and I am thrilled with my new life, and it's inspired me to help people like you do the same. I'm working 4 days a week. Again, it goes back to sacrificing, because I really thought that I would only be working 2.5 days a week out here, maybe every other Saturday, maybe one Saturday a month, but I'm working Wednesday through Saturday. I have very flexible hours. Again, it goes back to sacrificing when you are in growth mode. There's two types of business modes. There's growth and flow. I am in growth. So I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of my time and show up and make my schedule convenient for those people who want to invest in my new business. And I will tell you, again, I'm finally over the fear, and I'm thrilled with my new life. And if I can do this, you guys, so can you. And I honestly, after just 3 months in business, I am making just as much money as I was making in LA. I'm enjoying my life more. I actually get time. Twice within the last 30 days, I've gone to volunteer, and I've gone to a charity event, and I've met new clients at both, and I've met great new connections at both. I literally have to keep pinching myself to make sure this life that I've designed is the real deal. I would love for you to visit my Instagram page, and under the post where I have this show, I'm going to post a picture of the show and a picture of me leaving LA for the last time. I would like you to share the last time you were beauty biz scared, and how did you overcome this feeling? And here it is. I'm going to wrap it up today by saying I am a big believer in creating good fear in your life. If you're in a place where you long for change, if you feel unsettled, or if you simply are desiring growth in your practice. So welcome back to the show. Happy 2019. I can't wait to share with you my incredible guests on the show this year. And again, if you want me to help you along this journey, I spend most of my time in the Beauty Biz Club. It's a membership portal designed for the esthetician who desires a professional, profitable career, not a hobby. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Can't wait to roll out all the fun stuff that I have going on this year, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Have a great day. Thanks Thanks for tuning into the Beauty Biz Show. I hope this episode leaves you feeling inspired to build the beauty biz of your dreams. If you'd like to know more about how you can become a member of the Beauty Biz Club, the only professional success-based society designed to fuel your success by providing you with the ongoing resources that are needed to excel in the beauty industry, please visit beautybizclub.com. Again, that's beautybizclub.com. Also, if you'd like a copy of my free report, Top 10 Secrets of Successful Beauty Biz Practitioners, please visit lauriecrete.com.